Hi, everybody. It's Terry Real. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to talk with you today about self esteem, what it is and what it isn't, and how to get some. We talk about things like we know what the hell we're talking about. People say things all day long like, your relationship takes work. Yeah, well, what kind of work do you mean exactly? Self esteem is a great thing to have. Yeah, well, what is it exactly? Not to whatever for my California friends, but a while back, the state of California was kind of the butt of a lot of jokes because they launched, God bless them, a statewide self esteem campaign, particularly for kids. And it was well meaning, but they had no idea what real self esteem really is. What they did is they tried to promote confidence and mastery, which is great. But confidence and mastery is not self esteem. It's confidence and mastery. There are two different things. So let's get this straight. I owe this to our great mentor, P.M. Melody. Self esteem means exactly what the phrase says, how to esteem yourself. Duh. How to hold yourself in warm regard, how to be loving and tender to yourself. And particularly, how to be warm and tender to yourself even when you are human and imperfect, when you screw up, when you fail at something, when you get a bad grade, when the girl you asked out tells you to get lost, when the stocks that you were so proud of picking take a nosedive. How to hold yourself in warm regard even if you've hurt someone. What's the difference between remorse and a self-esteem crash? How many of us can do that in this culture? We're not taught to. This is not a relationally healthy culture, and we do not teach our sons and daughters and non-binary kids how the basics of how to have a good relationship with anybody else or how to have a good relationship with ourselves. So this is it. Let me give you a few of the basics. Self-esteem comes from the inside out. It is your birthright. You have worth and dignity because you're here on this planet and you're breathing and you're a human being. Period. End of story. Your essential worth and dignity cannot be added to. Go out and be a philanthropist, great, but you're not worth more. It can't be subtracted from. Go out and be a serial killer. I hope you don't, but you have no more or less worth than the guy to the left or to the right of you. There's a beautiful movie, Dead Man Walking, an old movie with Sean Penn and Susan Sarandon, based on a true story. And it's a nun, and it's her journal, a nun spending the last days in prison with a convicted serial killer before he's put to death. And what's extraordinary is that she holds him in warm regard as a flawed but worthwhile human being. And it's powerful. How many of us do that? Well, actually, we do in principle. In fact, it's the principle that democracy is based on: one person, one vote, everyone equal under the law. No one is exempt from the law. We're all equal. And it's the bulwark of medical ethics. If a senator and a Skid Row a man facing alcoholism and utter poverty are both brought in the emergency room, the doc has to triage based on need, not status. That is a total violation of ethics. We are all equal. And we know this with children. If little Timmy is an ADHD nightmare and Sally is a virtuoso violinist, if I were to say to you which of your kids is worth more, you'd deck me if you were a healthy parent. It's irrelevant. It's about being. Our worth is established by God. Our worth is established ontologically or by nature. If you're an atheist, that's fine. But it is our birthright. We have worth and dignity as human beings, no more, no less than the person to the right or to the left of us. Western civilization, however, while it holds us in theory, doesn't run this way. In fact, our culture runs on three forms of unhealthy self-esteem: outside in self-esteem, performance-based esteem. I have worth because of what I can do. I can hit a home run. I can close a deal. I can give my wife an orgasm. And performance based esteem, these are broad generalities when I speak about gender. I understand that. So don't diss me for that. There's a lot of variation. But generally speaking, performance based esteem is a big one for men in our culture. You're only as good as your last game. People talk about the fragile male ego. Well, this is it, because you have to establish your worth over and over and over again through your performance. And one false step, and you're a goner. As one of my captains of industry said about a colleague, over the side without a ripple. Performance based esteem is a terribly insecure basis for your sense of worth and well being. We can do better than that. Other based esteem is I have worth because you think I do. And by the way, performance based esteem pushed to extremes becomes workaholism. Other based esteem pushed to extremes becomes love addiction. My partner gives me the warmth and love that I have trouble giving myself, which is great when they're giving it to me, but it ain't so great when there's a crimp in the hose and my drug is not being delivered. I go into a self esteem crash. That's the love addiction. I'm using other people's esteem of me as a self esteem dialysis machine, outside in. And then the third form is attribute based esteem. I have worth because of what I have. I have a big bank account. I have big muscles. I have a trophy wife. I live in Boston, and it's I have a kid at Harvard. No offense to anybody. But we were applying for my 4-year-old to go to, kind of pre-kindergarten in Boston. And being academic Boston, they gave me like a 10-page questionnaire ending in what are your goals for your child's, your 4-year-old's year here? And I couldn't help myself being a wise ass. I wrote early admission to Harvard. Attribute based esteem. I have worth because of what I have. Of course, the entire advertising industry is based on this. Buy this car and be a person of distinction. It's all bullshit. Feel good about these things. Feel good if someone likes you. Feel bad if they don't. Feel good if you perform well. Feel bad if you don't. But there's a firewall between these natural feelings and who you are as a human being. You can be a better tennis player. You can be a better teacher. You can be a better husband. You can be a better all sorts of things, but you're not a better person, nor a lesser person. And of course, the great self esteem disorder is twofold: shame, the one that we've been obsessed with, feeling less than, inadequate, defective, unlovable. And for 50 years, psychotherapy's worked to help people come up from the one down of shame. But in RLT, the work I've created, relational life therapy, we're somewhat distinct in that we equally pay attention to the one up: grandiosity, feeling superior, contempt for the rules, feeling entitled, being a big baby. And I hate to tell you, but all of us have both. We go down, we go up, we go down, we go up. Bang, 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 all day long. What I want is for you to hold steady, neither better than nor less than, same as. That great Irish proverb, no matter how high or great the throne, what sits on it is the same as your own. You are neither better nor worse than the person sitting next to you. You can't be. You can't add to your value. I love speaking to you and imparting what I've learned, often through hard won labor over the years and a lot of help. I wish you a better relationship with yourself starting right now. Be well.